Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Here with my friend, Mr. Brian Koulis, who could or could not, if you're watching the video, may or may not be with Affordable Health and Life at 501-922-7449. As the lady on the radio says, 501-922-7449, right?
Oh, yeah, that's my daughter, Breland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Breland that does that, yeah.
I had no idea. I thought, wow, he's got a professional jingle. He's uptown. What's going on, right?
I paid her a few bucks, so, hey, that's,
What, one way or the other, you'll be paying her.
But yeah, it's my daughter Breland that does that. So that
does a great job. Does a great job.
Thank you.
Usually when we talk about healthcare and life, we're talking about the mad season of health of Medicare. What's going on nowadays?
Well, Medicare changed a enrollment period about a couple years ago. And right now, you have the crazy fall season Medicare open enrollment,
right?
October 15th through December 7th. And it's kind of a little known period right now. It's called annual enrollment period. And I kind of joke, I kind of call it, it's unofficial, I call it the buyer's remorse period. And it's January 1st through March 31st. And if, let's say, you got enrolled in a plan in the fall, you weren't quite happy with it, you can change that plan January 1st through March 31st. But I
had no idea.
Right, but it has to be a like plan. So it has to be from a Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan. So, there's a couple people that, not too many, but maybe a few people say, hey, I signed up with this one plan. I want to switch to something else. You can do that until March 31st of this year. So
any penalty or any fee?
No, there's no penalty. You can go, for instance, if you signed up today, your plan would start March 1st. If you sign up, let's say March 10th, your plan will start April 1st. And this is from January 1st, March 31st. It's the open enrollment period or the annual enrollment period. There are many terms for it, but
who's the typical person that would call you about something like this? Obviously somebody that, oops, I didn't get the right one, or
right. Or maybe they signed up over the phone or who knows, but they signed up in a plan and for some reason they're not happy with it. And I understand they want to switch to another company or another plan or something. They can do it from a like to a like plan. And
is it most times the doctors? Is it most times the fee? What's the most common disgruntled point?
It could be maybe someone signed up with a plan and their doctor is not in the network, or situations changed in January and their doctor said, hey, I'm not taking this particular plan anymore. So it's Medicare's making it easy for someone to change if they got into not the plan that they were satisfied with. So,
well, let's go back to this just a little bit further, and I wanted to come back to your website here in just a sec, but
yes,
let me give it the 5 mile high view. You obviously work with Medicare and Medicaid during the fall enrollment period.
that's correct.
But you do life year round, is that right?
Yeah, I do life insurance year round. A lot of times people ask me about like a funeral expense plan, just basic life insurance. I also do that. You can do that anytime during the year. There's also a unique product that comes in and fills in the gaps of Medicare plans, Medicare Advantage plans, and that's called like a hospital indemnity plan. And this is a plan that will pay you cash. Let's say, for instance, you go to a doctor, you have a Medicare Advantage plan, your hospital copay is $300 a day. This hospital indemnity plan will give you cash towards that $300. So it's
Oh, really?
yeah, and you can sign up for those anytime during the year, and it fills in the gaps, some of the gaps with your Medicare Advantage plan.
Sure. And as those who are watching will tell, I've got your website pulled up here. Great looking website.
Do.
And
yeah,
I
who's
do.
That guy? Who's that guy? I think I recognize him.
I know that guy. Well, I tell you what, I think he may owe me money. I'm not sure, but no, actually, I know who built the website, and it's a great looking website, great looking logo. But I realize here you can just click and make an appointment for a time to. Now, do you Zoom or you call or you phone call or you visit, or what do you do in person now that the COVID is kind of passed?
Right, we can do that. There are some restrictions now, mostly because of some of these 1-800 numbers. Medicare's kind of restricted things where, I can do a Zoom or I could call someone. I do need to record the call, so I have to ask someone ahead of time, hey, do you mind we're recording this call? And so independent agents now have to do that. That's one change. But it just protects the customers, and so I'm no problem. Somebody calls me, I call them. I just have to say, hey, you're going to be recorded, and it's not a big deal, and we have to keep that on file. So,
isn't it amazing how a few bad apples can spoil the whole bunch for everybody else?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's because a lot of these companies, these 1-800 numbers, and a lot of Hot Springs villagers and people here in Arkansas attest to that. The seniors are getting barraged with these 1-800 calls. I've had customers 20 times a day, they get these unsolicited calls. And so Medicare is saying now, if somebody calls you, they have to tell you they're recording it, keep track of that. And it's to protect the seniors. But yeah, it really hacks you off when you're an agent trying to do your best for the customer. But hey, we got to abide by the rules. So, that.
No, well, I mean, and obviously the rules don't bother you. The people that were being deceptive, They probably aren't thrilled about getting their calls.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They sure aren't.
Wow.
Those people they're calling you from their basement in Florida trying to make a few commissions, whatever.
Jeez.
So,
well,
yeah,
so help me here. So what would be the best candidate to call you this time? I mean, I'm 64 and I know I'm going to be turning 65 this year, and I know I'm going to talk to you in the fall. I need to wait till the fall to call you, right?
No, when you're turning 65, let's say someone's turning 65 in May, we can get the ball rolling. You can sign up for a Medicare supplement or Advantage plan 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your 65th birthday, and 3 months after you turn 65. So there's a 7-month window. Your Medicare plan will start the first of the month of your 65th birthday, but you do have that 7-month, 3 months before, month of, 3 months after, where you can enroll in a plan. I can come talk to you about Advantage supplement plans, prescription plans. So it's you have a lot of leeway there when you're turning 65. So,
well, and I had heard people say, well, I may not want Medicare when I turn 65.
Yes.
You don't have a choice. Is that correct?
Well, you can keep a group plan. Let's say you're 65 still working.
Right.
A lot of companies will allow you to keep your employer plan or your spouse's plan, and they may keep that till they're 70 years old, then they retire. You are required to get what's called Part A hospital coverage of Medicare when you turn 65, and that is a given. You are automatically enrolled in Part A. There's no premium to that. And then you later will have to get Part B Medicare, which is doctor coverage, which is physician services, anything a doctor does, like blood work, office visit. That's called Part B, and the Part B premium is $164.90 for 2023. But if you have group coverage, you don't have to really have Part B until you leave your group coverage. And so some people have to, some people don't. They can ask me. There's a few different quirks about it, so that, you know, feel free to call me or ask me the ins and outs of Part B and Part A. So
I think the answer to most of these questions I'm hearing
Right.
is it depends.
It does depend, and there are, you know, I've been doing this about 14 years, and every day I get something different, which is kind of fun. But it's like, oh wow, I never heard of that before. So and I'll dig into it. If I don't know the answer, I'll definitely find out for you. So,
But I mean, for you have to continue for training. I mean, you have yearly training
Sure.
for this and everything just to
Right.
keep up on the rules and regulations, right?
Right. All the agents, once a year, we have to take a big test in the summer, usually July or August. And we have to pass it and study for it and pass it and learn all the new laws and everything. So
Because it changes about every year, right?
it does change. The plans do change, and the seniors, anybody on Medicare can attest to that, right?
Well, and I want to go back to something real quick, Brian. And
Sure.
look,
Mhm.
there are other good folks around that sell this services. I get it.
Absolutely. Mhm.
But you need somebody you can trust. And I'm not saying you can't trust these other people. I'm just saying after
Right.
14 years, you may have seen a couple of things. You
Sure.
may have some experience that could really help. And especially, I mean, it doesn't get any more local than a 922 number, right?
Exactly right. And I'm, based here in Hot Springs Village. I do go all over Arkansas. If there's listeners also in surrounding states, I'm licensed in those states. But I am local here, Hot Springs Village, Hot Springs area. Good majority of my customers are in those zip codes here and area codes.
Well, you know, Randy, who is coming back, by the way, and he'll be
Randy,
visiting.
yes.
Yeah, he will be
Yeah.
visiting with it. Somebody said he turned 65 the other day, and
Oh, he did. Doesn't look it.
Yeah.
Looks great.
No,
Yeah.
well, you know what? It's that follicle thing. See, you guys with hair, y'all are going to look old. Me and Randy look young forever.
Oh, you do. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Relatively, and relatively is exactly the word. Very relative.
Randy's a great guy. Yes,
Oh,
he is.
wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. And as I mentioned, we checked about some stuff. He's actually doing some big changes there in Dallas right now. So
Sure.
it's everything. All the plates are still spinning, but all the coins are up in the air too. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. It's great.
Well,
It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you have a few moments, whatever you want to talk about, just fire away. So you're good.
Really, and actually, you kind of covered where I was going. I know you like to talk from Meat for Coffee, and I understand that we hear you on the radio every morning. There's always a Brian Koulis ad. It's Mac at the Rack. I love listening to Mac at the Rack.
Oh yeah, he's great. Absolutely.
Yeah, and always brought to you by Brian Koulis. And I think the easiest thing to do is just call somebody you trust. Oh, and by the way, we can find your email address or message you on the website, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can find me, just put in my name or Hot Springs Village, Brian Koulis. You're good to go. And yeah, like you were talking about this time of year, again, there's some things you can do. One thing I guess I want to talk about is all these television ads talk about Part C plans. C's and Charlie. Have you seen Joe Namath talking about that?
I have.
William Shatner.
Yeah, and I think this is be very frank. Here's how I see the world. When I walk into the front of a Walmart and there's a nail salon and there's an eye care center, I think those must be really high profit items. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
You follow me here? And when I see Joe Namath, a name that we pulled up from 40 years ago, or William Shatner from 40 years ago, and they're endlessly talking about this, and there are endless commercials like Budweiser and Coca-Cola commercials, I think there must be a lot of money in this for them, right?
Oh, there's a few dollars, absolutely. And Part C, a lot of people think Part C plans are new because a lot of the advertisements say, hey, call us about Part C plans. But basically, Part C is interchangeable with Medicare Advantage. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, that is considered a Part C plan. So
So let's go through it again. So A is basically a hospital stay, the bed and the room, right?
Yeah, Part A of Medicare, that's hospital.
Okay.
And then you
B is actually the doctor and the test kind of things.
right, anything a physician does is Part
Okay.
B of Medicare.
And then
That's called
Part
original
C is actually just another word for a
Medicare Advantage.
Advantage. Huh.
So Medicare Advantage is a private company that manages your health care for you. It works hand in hand with Medicare. And many companies have Part C plans. So, but in the commercials, they try to kind of make you think, hey, Part C is brand new. It's interchangeable. A Part C plan is Medicare Advantage. So
Same thing, right?
same thing, pretty much,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Well, and my question would be, why are they trying to push Part C? Is just to get you to call about anything, or
It's just because that's not commonly known that Medicare Advantage is Plan C. It's just a marketing tool, really.
okay, forgive me, but these were the same guys that last year or the year before were talking about the free buyback plan.
The
Or
buyback,
free,
yes.
Oh my Lord. And I won't even go into it. It's more complicated than it's worth. It may apply to 2% to 3%, but when people hear free on television, they think, oh,
Right.
we should call and ask, right?
And absolutely, people can call me and talk to me. There are some Medicare Advantage plans that will give you Part B. They'll give you the Part B buyback is what they call it, and they'll help you with the premium. There's a few of them that do that, and also there's programs through Social Security and Medicare that you can also apply, and there's some income limits to that. So
Well, now we talk about this, and you mentioned life, but basically the Medicare and health is where we're looking. And now, what if somebody says, well, I'm trying to do the Obamacare or whatever? Are you a guidance counselor? Like, what do they call them? Counselor there or what?
Yeah, counselor, yes, something like that. So marketplace advisor.
Yeah.
And I do that too if somebody needs insurance and they are not Medicare eligible. Let's say they're at a job that doesn't have insurance. I can look into the Affordable Care Act plans. I have several companies that I could give you quotes on, so no problem.
So Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee.
Pretty much, yeah. On the Obamacare plans, Affordable Care Act, I'm just licensed in Arkansas.
Right,
but
right.
for anything Medicare related or life insurance, pretty much all the surrounding states I'm licensed in. So,
if you don't mind, if we have just another minute,
yes, sir.
I'd love to go into your other life, if you don't mind. For a minute.
No.
Can we talk about that?
Do people want to know about that?
I think they do. I really do. And let me back up. Brian is a local guy and is part of a podcast with a pretty famous guy here locally, at least, and nationally, at least.
That's right.
Fantastic guy. What's it like to do that every day? I'm fascinated.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, the Doc Washburn show, and he was on KARN in Little Rock for many years. He's also hosted the Mark Levin radio show.
Oh, yeah.
So Doc knows his stuff. He also ran for governor last year in Arkansas. And October of 2021, we started a podcast, and we're about 400 episodes into it. And it's the DocWashburnShow.com. So a lot of people have missed Doc on the radio, we have a podcast, and we interview a lot of the same people that Fox or Dan Bongino interviews. And we're also going to be starting to do some Facebook Live videos with Doc. And, Dennis, I had a long history in radio and broadcasting too. So I help with the podcast and with Doc, and it's a lot of fun. Doc's a great guy. So it's a fun show.
Well, I guess it was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, coming on, that you were talking about, the possibility of doing this. And I was so excited for you. I thought, man, this is going to be a life-changing thing. And in case you need any endorsement, speaking of endorsement, there's a guy that sells pillows, right?
Yes. There's the guy about a month or two ago started sponsoring our show. He's a pillow guy, mypillow.com. Have you ever seen him? He doesn't advertise very much.
No, you only see him 10 times a day.
You may not have seen Mike Lindell, right? But yeah, he's a sponsor. He's been great. And I got to meet him a couple weeks ago. Great guy, just down to earth. You can walk right up to him, talk to him. He pulled up to the venue in his own car, no limousine. He just Just a down to earth guy, really
Well,
nice guy.
that's like you and me, Brian. We pull up in our own cars. I mean, no limo. We just get them.
You've got that nice convertible, right? And
yeah. But I have to drive it myself. I mean, Diane won't drive and let me sit in the back. I don't know what the problem is.
What happened to the chauffeurs? I thought you had a beck and call of 4 or 5 chauffeurs, right?
Let's just say there have been cuts. Okay, shall we say that?
budget cuts. You're right. You got to streamline the.
Well, Silicon Valley takes the cut. Hot Springs Village takes the cut.
Sure, absolutely.
Try in that ballpark. And we were joking before we hit the record button that you and I have several different hats that we wear every day. And I was joking that in between doing the podcast and in between doing Affordable Health and in between doing radio work, then you just sit on the couch and eat bonbons. And you corrected me. What was it?
Yeah, Reese's Pieces, or Reese's. Bars, chocolate bars, whatever.
Actually, I probably need to up my game. I probably need to move up to the Reese's Pieces thing, a little peanut butter protein with the whole chocolate thing.
Well, it's very healthy. It is, and coming from a guy that sells health insurance,
and you should know.
Yeah, and I do recommend Yarnell's and Bluebell ice cream too.
Brian, literally, it's been too long, my friend. We need to go to lunch together and catch up again.
It's a lot of fun.
For Hot Springs Village Inside Out, I'm Dennis Simpson. He's Brian Koulis with Affordable Health and Life. Call him at 501-922-7449.
I love it. Dennis, do that again.
You've ever heard his daughter sing that? She does a better job than me, trust me.
Thank you, Dennis.
Great seeing you, Brian. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.